My name is Sani Musa Ibrahim. I am representing the people of Plateau on this platform as the youth governor.
My name is Adora Osman Robert. I'm the youth governor from Paris State.
Okay, sir, I'm Ramat Shimo, the youth governor from Niger State.
My name is Emmanuel Adebisi, executive youth governor of Imo State.
My name is Andres Kapundoka, the executive youth governor of Sokoto State.
My name is Obin Nakao. I am the youth governor of Niger State.
My name is John Oko. I'm the youth governor representing Niger State.
Welcome.
My name is Sufiano Hamisu Mendebale. I am the youth governor representing the people of Zamfara State.
Okay. Let me say good morning, everybody, or afternoon. Well, my name is Honorable Obiara Arinze. I'm the Supervising Counsel on Education and Social Development, Abuja Municipal Area Council. You know, this is AMAC. So I say welcome, guys, to AMAC.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
My name is DJ Mike Adiwaya.
Okay.
Oyo. I'm the chairman of the Governors Forum.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So I say welcome, guys.
So let me start with the question. He has the Supervisory Council of Education.
Okay.
How is the educational sector in How is it fair?
Our greatest challenge right now is we're having is basically the insecurity all over the country, not about AMAC or Abuja and so you understand. That has cost us greatly in the education sector, you know, but I know with all things being equal, with the help of the chairman, Mr. He's a new administration, we just came in, you know, with his help and with the help of us, basically, to put things right and put things together. Yeah, you know, we are in the council here, we are the LEAs, local government schools are the ones on those, right? And those schools are basically owned by the government, you understand? But with the help of grace, God knows, and we know that the sky will be the limit in the nearest future, basically as per education. You know, outside the LA schools, we have private schools, right? In AMAC, especially here in the council too. But those private schools are really not under us, right? What actually is under us? The local government schools are schools that the local government run proudly. You understand? And it's something that we do, and God knows that we've been doing it well, and we'll continue to do it well. About us privatizing it, I don't think there's any reason for that right now, you know, but maybe in the near future, if there are one or two kind of partners that want to come in based on our schools, come in with good money, of course, why yes. You know. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. The Constitution, the Constitution says education is free.
Yes.
I want to find out, is it the same thing we have here?
This is a new administration, like I said,
Yes,
right?
yes.
We're barely 6 months in office,
Yes.
right? Immediately when we came into office, the first thing we did in this department was to go around the top, right? We went around on top and identified these schools, not just we, there are so many other schools that actually have this kind of challenges, right? And for an institution that is not running on its own budget, you know, it's difficult for you to really strive, right? But God knows, and we believe and we know that once we swing into action in the next administrative year, which is from January,
Yes.
most of this stuff will be taken care of. I'll give you an example. As we speak right now, there are one or two LEA schools that are actually giving out contracts here for renovation of classrooms, buildings, and things like that. You know, and these are things we met. You understand on ground, right? These are things we met on ground. We'll go around inspections. We've seen all these whole problems. We'll know actually what the schools need, and I assure you, by God's grace, all these things will be in the past very soon.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Your interaction with us so far, I can see that the chairman did not make a mistake for appointing you as the honorable supervisory council. That shows that you know your onions, you are a square peg in a square hole. Because of those of us who are not in the FCT, one of those things that hindered their them breaking the ground from day one is immediately they came in. In fact, the inauguration was postponed.
Yes.
And immediately after the inauguration, the inauguration of the chairman, they went through tribunal, they went till the appeal court.
Yes.
So the mandate is not even up to 3 months.
Yeah.
The election was won in February. They were supposed to come to office in May, but they did not even settle down till around July. So despite these numerous challenges that bedevil this administration, how, and the lack of funds, which is general across the country, how are you trying to galvanize support in terms of funds to look into some of these infrastructural challenges and what do you call it, the chairs and the rest in most of our areas? Considering that AMAC is one of the largest area councils, not only in Abuja, but in the entire country.
Sure.
This shows that you are the biggest minister, or let me say commissioner, at local government level in the entire Nigeria. This is a big challenge for you as the Minister of Education. So how do you intend to change these challenges into prosperity?
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you for this question, and thank you for the kudos you actually gave to us before you started your question. The truth is that, right? Yes, it's true. What he said is not a lie. The elections was won in February 12th, to be precise, right? We were supposed to be sworn. The honorable chairman was supposed to be sworn into office, I think in May.
May 20th.
May 20th. It was postponed because these guys came up with something else that we didn't understand. That when that was going on, they took us to court. We were in court. From the lower tribunal, went to the appeal court. Eventually, by the special grace of God, we found ourselves in office after 3 months or 4 months of battle, right? But we're here now, so government, seriously, if you ask me, it's not, we can't, all these are not excuses for us not to perform. That's the gospel truth, right? I'll give you a scenario, I'll give you an instance. When we came into office, there was, I think, the past administration was owing staff of the council 2 months' salaries. The first thing we did, the first thing the chairman did was to pay those salaries. He pled that immediately we came into office, right? And I'll tell you the truth, if it takes us to turn water into wine to make sure that our people get the dividends of democracy in FCT, we will do it, right? God knows that we're putting our heads every day together. Yes, funds are starting to true. That is why we have policies right now about the revenue generation right now in AMAC being very, very, very strict, right? Because that's one key. If we once we set our IGR right in this council, there's no way we will not make wave. Exactly. That's gospel truth, right? And thank God we have a chairman today that has decided that that's his first drive, to bring in money into the council through IGR. Because once your IGR is flowing, yes, you can get 100% no doubt, right? To block revenue leakage is 100%. It's like you saying you can build heaven in Nigeria. You understand? But you can actually strive to like 80%. If we get 60% right, I'm not sure we'll wait for our allocation before we pay salaries here.
You address all these questions. Though I'm part of the management team, like I said, I'm the head of operations specialty for Abuja. And one of the reasons we do this is to help youths come into mainstream leadership. Because we believe leadership goes beyond politics. True. There's leadership in business, in clergy, in any level of interaction.
Yeah.
So my question to you now goes on leadership, because you're a young person from what I can see now. How has it been for you being a leader? And I don't want to sound like a journalist now, I just want to have a good conversation with you. How has it been for you in a leadership position as Supervicing Counsel with Education and Social Development? And how do you deal with having to run a lot of people under you, looking at the fact that you're a leader and you're a young person, and most people might feel you're not supposed to talk to me about this. You're not supposed to come to me and tell me how to do things. But most people might have been in this in the system before you could even dream of coming to the system. So how do you handle the whole political game? Because these are people that need to learn now from you. We are here to learn from you. So how are you able to maneuver all of these and then make impact in the office that you are assigned to?
Thank you very much for that question. They say in life, it's only God that gives, right? And He's the one that can still take. When we, I won't use the word dabble, but when we started politics, basically we started because we knew we had a future there, right? And being a leader, you're a leader. We're all leaders in our various levels, right? It depends on how you now see it and how you handle it. because every man is a king in his house, right? Every man is a king in his house. There's this saying, there's someone that was telling me yesterday, said that, yeah, your father will train you, bring you up to a level. To get to a level in life, your father stops growing, that's, he gets to that level, he stops. You will now come up and meet you guys will turn age mates actually, because you guys can now interact and discuss and share ideas. You know, you're no longer that kid. He will be able to say, come on, go and do this for me, go and do that for me. He will now talk to you with respect because you've grown, right? Now, for me, being a leader, right? Like I said, we're all leaders in our various levels in life. Being a leader is something that it's driven by you, by what you feel, what you think inside. If you have an old man under you as your subordinate, for instance, somebody older than you, somebody who very much older than you as your subordinate, and you want to send this man to do something because you know he has to actually do it, and you now start cracking your mouth because you don't know how to tell him, because you think he's older than you won't get the job done. That's the truth. You won't get the job done. I urge everybody, every youth today in this country, not just in Ambakwa University, every youth today in this country should take up. It's our time for us to actually mount this day. It's our time to make things happen. It's our time to not to just sit at home. It's our time to make sure we go out there and change this scenario. It's our time to change this scenario, because if we sit at home, nothing will change. The ideologies of these guys that are really old. Nobody's saying it's bad, but we need to add and bring in what we feel is right into the system. And by God's grace, thank God, we have a very young chairman too. In the whole council, I won't lie to you, most of us are very, very young. We are all young. Most of us are very young. This cabinet, I won't lie to you, right? We're 7 supervising councillors. 7 of us are very young. Well, I'm not saying we're very young, but we're young, right? So, and himself, the vice chairman is a young man. The chairman himself is a young man. And we're making waves in the council like this. You understand? So it really has nothing to do with how old you are. You know, once you perform, as somebody being in the M of affairs, you perform, everybody will fall into line. It's when you don't know what you're doing, people will start pointing fingers. But once you perform, everybody will fall into line. And I strongly believe that every youth in this country has that thing inside him or her. You guys didn't just start today now. You guys started, something actually motivated all this. You understand? And that dream is being carried, that dream is being followed. And by God's grace, see you guys in the next 5 years, everybody will be shocked. People will be shocked. It is not everybody, let's be honest with ourselves, it's not everybody that can stand in front of a congregation and just start talking. It's the truth. It's not everybody. But I tell you that everybody has that inside emotion. But the only way you can realize that you have that is when you start doing it. If you don't start, you won't know. You won't ever know. That's the truth. So I urge every youth today to make sure that follow your dreams, yeah? At the same time, make sure you always come out first in everything you do. And with that, man, the sky is our limit here. In the next 10 years in this country, you might be the governor of your state, who knows?
Amen.
It's the truth. You know, it's the truth.
So I don't know if